Are you drinking apple cider vinegar every day, hoping it will lower your blood sugar, but not really sure if it's even working? If you're like most people with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, you've probably heard that apple cider vinegar is a miracle. Some say it lowers blood sugar, melts fat, improves digestion, and even reverses insulin resistance. But is that really true? Or just another trend that sounds too good to be real? Here's the truth. Apple cider vinegar can be incredibly powerful, but only if you use it the right way. Otherwise, it might do nothing for your blood sugar. Or worse, it could cause acid reflux, blood sugar crashes, or damage to your teeth and stomach lining. In this video, I'll reveal what actually happens inside your body when you take apple cider vinegar. I'll show you the best time to take it, the exact dose that works, and how to avoid the 3 biggest mistakes that most diabetics make with it. You'll also learn the science behind why it works, and who should stay away from it completely. But first, let's address the big question. Does apple cider vinegar really lower blood sugar? Or is it just hype? To answer that, we have to look at the science. When you drink apple cider vinegar, especially before meals, it slows down the digestion of carbohydrates. This means that the sugar from your food enters your bloodstream more gradually. Instead of a huge spike in blood glucose followed by a crash, you get a smoother, flatter curve. This effect is called gastric emptying delay. Apple cider vinegar contains a natural acid called acetic acid, and this acid seems to have a powerful effect on how your stomach processes food. But here's where it gets really interesting. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care found that when people with insulin resistance took just 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before a high-carb meal, their blood sugar levels were significantly lower compared to those who didn't take any. And we're not talking about a small difference. We're talking about a 30% to 40% reduction in post-meal glucose spikes. Another study, this time in people with type 2 diabetes, showed that apple cider vinegar before bed helped reduce fasting blood sugar levels by the next morning. That means it's not just about what happens after a meal. It can also help improve your blood sugar while you sleep. So yes, the science is real. But it's not magic. Apple cider vinegar won't reverse diabetes by itself, and it won't work if you take it randomly or combine it with a bad diet. Now, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever eaten a meal and then felt suddenly tired, dizzy, or irritable afterward? That's often a sign of a blood sugar crash, and it usually comes after a big spike. Apple cider vinegar can help smooth out those spikes, but only if you take it before the meal, not after. That's mistake number 1 that people make, taking it at the wrong time. We'll talk more about timing and dosage in the next block, but just know this: the timing is everything. Now you might be wondering, if it's so good, why doesn't every doctor recommend it? The answer is simple. Apple cider vinegar is not a patented drug. It's cheap, it's natural, and pharmaceutical companies don't profit from it. So you won't see commercials telling you to drink it before meals. But that doesn't mean it's not effective. That's why I'm here, to give you real, science-based tools that actually help, without side effects or false promises. Now let's address the second big question. What's the best type of apple cider vinegar to use? This is crucial. Not all vinegars are created equal. You want to use organic, raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. That cloudy stuff at the bottom? That's where the beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and acetic acid live. Filtered or pasteurized vinegar won't give you the same benefits. And flavored vinegars with added sugar? They're worse than useless. They actually raise your blood sugar. So make sure your bottle says "with the mother" and has no added ingredients. One more thing before we wrap up this first part. Let's talk about mindset. Some people think apple cider vinegar is a cure. It's not. It's a tool. And like any tool, it has to be used the right way. If you rely on vinegar but continue eating high glycemic foods, skipping sleep, and living a sedentary life, it won't help much. But if you combine it with healthy eating, gentle daily movement, and smart habits, It can become a powerful ally in your journey to reverse insulin resistance and stabilize blood sugar long term. In the next block, I'll show you exactly how to take it for maximum results, when to avoid it, and how to combine it with meals for even greater impact. So stay with me. The next part is where most people fail, and where you'll finally get it right. So now that you understand how apple cider vinegar works in your body, and why it's not a miracle but a real science-backed tool, let's get into the part most people get wrong, how to actually take it the right way. Because the truth is, even something natural like vinegar can be harmful if you don't use it correctly. Let's start with the dosage. The most common and effective dose shown in research is 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar per day. That's about 15 to 30 milliliters. But here's the key: never drink it straight. Why? Because it's extremely acidic. Drinking undiluted apple cider vinegar can erode your tooth enamel, irritate your throat, and even damage the lining of your stomach over time. Some people think more is better, but in this case, more is worse. Instead, you need to dilute it. Here are 2 safe and effective ways to do it. 1. Mix it with water. Add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to a large glass of water, around 250-300 milliliters. Drink it about 15-30 minutes before your largest meal of the day, ideally the one with the most carbohydrates. This slows down carb digestion and reduces glucose spikes. 2. Use it as part of your meals. Another great method is to mix apple cider vinegar into your salad dressings, sauces, or vegetable marinades. This helps you absorb the vinegar slowly with your food, which reduces the risk of irritation and still helps flatten your blood sugar curve. Now let's talk about timing, because when you take it matters just as much as how. The best time to take apple cider vinegar is before a meal, not after. This is because the vinegar works by slowing digestion and lowering the glycemic impact of that meal. If you wait until after you eat, the sugar has already entered your bloodstream, and it's too late. So here's a simple rule. Take it 15 to 30 minutes before eating, especially before high-carb meals. Now, what about taking vinegar before bed? Some studies have shown that drinking a small amount of diluted vinegar before bed can help lower fasting blood sugar by morning, especially in people who struggle with the dawn phenomenon. If you decide to try this, start with just 1 teaspoon in a glass of water and never take it on an empty stomach if it makes you feel nauseous. Let's now go over the 3 biggest mistakes that diabetics make when using apple cider vinegar. Mistake number 1, taking it undiluted. We already mentioned this, but it's worth repeating. Never drink vinegar straight. It can cause burns, damage your teeth, and irritate your digestive system. Always dilute it or mix it with food. Mistake number 2, taking it at random times. Some people take vinegar first thing in the morning, others take it after meals, some take it before bed, with no strategy. But if you're trying to control post-meal blood sugar, the only time that truly works is before eating. Mistake number 3, taking too much, too soon. A lot of people think, if 1 tablespoon helps, maybe 3 will help even more. That's a mistake. High doses can lead to bloating, acid reflux, nausea, or potassium depletion. Start slow. Half a tablespoon in water once a day is a great way to begin. Now let's answer another question that many people have. Can I take apple cider vinegar in capsule or pill form? The answer is maybe, but be very cautious. Many supplements that claim to contain apple cider vinegar don't actually include the active compound, acetic acid, in a high enough concentration. Others contain fillers or additives, and some capsules can irritate your esophagus if they dissolve too slowly or get stuck. If you absolutely must use capsules, choose a high-quality brand with third-party testing and make sure the dosage matches the research, around 750 to 1500 milliliters of acetic acid equivalent per day. But whenever possible, use the liquid form diluted in water. It's natural, cheaper, and more reliable. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I've tried vinegar before and it upset my stomach. What should I do? That's a valid concern. and very common, especially if you take it on an empty stomach or you already suffer from gastritis, acid reflux, or ulcers. If that's the case, start with a very small amount. Just 1 teaspoon diluted in a full glass of water, and always take it with or right before food, not alone. You can also try mixing it into meals instead of drinking it directly. And if it still bothers you, don't force it. There are other natural ways to lower blood sugar, like cinnamon, berberine, magnesium, or fiber-rich meals, that might work better for your digestive system. Before we move to the next section, let's summarize the safe and effective way to use apple cider vinegar if you're diabetic. Use raw organic vinegar with the mother. Dilute 1 tablespoon in 250 milliliters of water. Drink it 15 to 30 minutes before your highest carb meal. Never take it on an empty stomach if it upsets you. Avoid drinking it straight. Start slow and increase, only if tolerated well. In the next block, we're going to dive deeper into how apple cider vinegar works inside your cells, the surprising connection between vinegar, insulin sensitivity, and fat loss, and how to combine it with other strategies to get even faster results. You'll also learn who should not take apple cider vinegar under any circumstance, and why it might be dangerous for some people. So keep watching. The next part could literally protect your health or prevent a serious mistake. Now let's go even deeper into what happens inside your body when you use apple cider vinegar correctly. Because this isn't just about slowing digestion or flattening blood sugar spikes. The real power of apple cider vinegar lies in how it affects your insulin sensitivity, and how that connects to fat loss and even long-term diabetes reversal. First, let's define what insulin sensitivity really means. When your cells are insulin sensitive, it means they respond well to insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar from your blood into your muscles and organs. But when you become insulin resistant, your body needs to produce more and more insulin just to handle the same amount of sugar. Over time, that leads to high blood sugar, weight gain, fatigue, and eventually type 2 diabetes. Now here's the key. Apple cider vinegar can actually improve insulin sensitivity. In a study published in the journal European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that taking vinegar with a meal reduced both blood sugar and insulin levels after eating. That means your body didn't just have a lower sugar spike. It also didn't need to pump out as much insulin. That's huge, because lowering insulin levels over time helps your cells become more sensitive again. And once that happens, your body can begin to regulate glucose more efficiently, burn fat more easily, and reduce the inflammation that fuels diabetes complications. But it gets even better. Some researchers believe that acetic acid, the main active compound in vinegar, activates an enzyme in your muscles called AMPK, also known as the metabolic master switch. This enzyme increases fat burning, decreases fat storage, and boosts glucose uptake in your cells. Think of it like this. Apple cider vinegar may help flip a switch in your body that tells it to burn more fat and respond better to insulin, naturally. That's why some people report not just lower blood sugar, but less belly fat, more energy, and even lower cholesterol after using vinegar consistently for a few weeks. It's not magic, it's chemistry, and it only works if you support it with the right habits. Now let's talk about an important question. Is apple cider vinegar safe for everyone? The answer is no. There are some people who should avoid apple cider vinegar altogether, or only use it under medical supervision. If you suffer from acid reflux, gastritis, ulcers, or chronic stomach irritation, vinegar might make things worse. It's still an acid, and for people with sensitive stomachs, even diluted vinegar can trigger pain or discomfort. Also, if you take medications that lower potassium levels, like certain diuretics, blood pressure medications, or insulin, apple cider vinegar might reduce your potassium even further. That can lead to muscle cramps, irregular heartbeats, or other complications. If you're on insulin or diabetes medications, vinegar can enhance their effect and lead to hypoglycemia, blood sugar that's too low. That's why it's critical to monitor your glucose closely if you start taking vinegar regularly. And if you have chronic kidney disease, be cautious. Your kidneys help balance acids in your body, and too much vinegar may overload their ability to regulate pH levels. In short, vinegar is powerful, but not harmless. So what should you do? Always start slow, listen to your body, and talk to your doctor if you're taking medications or have existing conditions. Now, let's switch gears for a moment. You might be wondering, how long does it take to see results? The answer varies. Some people notice more stable blood sugar within a few days. Others see improvements after a few weeks of consistent use. But here's the thing. Vinegar is not a short-term fix. It's a supportive strategy that works best when combined with long-term habits. That means eating low glycemic foods, managing stress, getting movement every day, and improving your sleep. If you're already doing these things, or even just starting, adding vinegar can help amplify the effects. But it's not a replacement. Think of it like a tool that works best when your foundation is solid. And here's one more tip that almost no one talks about. If you want to boost the effect of vinegar even further, take a short walk after meals. Studies show that even a 10-15-minute walk after eating can lower blood sugar significantly. Combine that with a diluted tablespoon of vinegar before the meal, and you've got a double strategy to flatten glucose spikes, improve digestion, and reduce the load on your pancreas. That's the kind of approach that actually helps reverse insulin resistance over time. Not quick fixes, not gimmicks, just science-backed habits stacked together with intention. Now let's address one final myth that needs to be cleared up. Some people believe that apple cider vinegar is dangerous because it's too acidic for the body. But here's the truth. While vinegar is acidic outside the body, once it's metabolized, it actually has an alkalizing effect. It helps your body stay in pH balance, as long as it's taken in small amounts and properly diluted. In fact, in traditional medicine, vinegar has been used for centuries as a tonic to support digestion, immunity, and metabolic health. But again, the dose makes the difference. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it's automatically safe in excess. In the final block, we'll bring everything together. You'll learn exactly how to make apple cider vinegar part of your daily routine without stress, how to combine it with other diabetic-friendly habits, and how to track your results to see if it's really working for you. We'll also go over the real signs that your blood sugar is improving, what to look for in your energy, mood, cravings, and fasting numbers, and how to avoid the trap of thinking that one magic drink is enough. Because if you stay consistent, informed, and intentional, small changes like this can lead to massive results over time. Let's finish strong. So now you understand the full picture. Apple cider vinegar is not a miracle cure, but when used correctly, it can become a powerful part of your blood sugar management routine. You've seen the science, you've learned the mistakes to avoid, and you now know exactly how to use it to your advantage. Let's quickly go over what we've covered, so it stays with you. Apple cider vinegar helps slow down the absorption of carbohydrates by delaying stomach emptying. That alone reduces post-meal sugar spikes and makes your blood sugar curve flatter and more stable. It also improves insulin sensitivity, which is the root of the problem in type 2 diabetes. The better your cells respond to insulin, the easier it becomes for your body to regulate blood sugar on its own, without the roller coaster of spikes and crashes. You now know that the best way to take it is simple. 1 tablespoon, diluted in water, about 15 to 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day, especially if that meal contains carbohydrates. And you've learned that taking it straight, taking too much, or taking it at the wrong time can cancel out its benefits or even cause harm. You've seen how vinegar activates fat-burning enzymes in your muscles, how it can lower fasting glucose overnight for some people, and how it might support a real metabolic reset, not through hype or magic, but through real changes in how your body processes food. But more important than any of that is this truth. There is no single food, supplement, or remedy that will reverse diabetes by itself. not even apple cider vinegar. The real transformation happens when you combine these tools with a mindset shift. When you begin to see food not as the enemy, but as a tool. When you stop chasing quick fixes and start building daily routines that support your body with every bite, every step, and every decision. You are not powerless, even if your numbers have been high for years. Even if your doctor has told you that diabetes is progressive. Even if you felt tired, defeated, and confused by all the conflicting advice. You have more control than you've been told. You can improve your insulin sensitivity. You can reduce inflammation. You can stabilize your blood sugar. You can feel like yourself again, or maybe better than you've felt in years. But it starts with action. Small, simple, consistent action. Try it for yourself. Add diluted apple cider vinegar before your next high-carb meal. Pay attention to how your body feels. Track your numbers. Watch what happens. Add a short walk after that meal and see how your fasting sugar responds the next morning. And don't stop there. Keep learning. Keep applying. Keep stacking habits that move you closer to real control. Not the illusion of control that comes from more medication, more frustration, and more confusion. Because every time you take ownership of your blood sugar, every time you make a smarter food choice, every time you say yes to your health and no to what's harming you, you move one step closer to freedom. And if you're ready to go even deeper, to discover how thousands of people just like you are lowering their blood sugar naturally every single day, the next step is already waiting for you, in the link below. Inside, you'll find a simple yet powerful method that supports your body's natural ability to balance blood sugar. No drugs, no side effects, no false promises. Just clear steps, rooted in real science. You don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to guess anymore. If this video gave you clarity, share it. If it gave you hope, act on it. And if it gave you value, subscribe for more natural, science-based strategies that are actually helping people take their life back from diabetes. Because your future doesn't have to be defined by high blood sugar, medications, or fear. You deserve to feel strong again, energized again, free again. And it starts with the next small decision you make today.